Hi, I am Claire. Welcome back. For this week's video, I am going to be doing a summer castle in The Sims 4. So, the past few videos, I have been mostly doing builds in the winter, and so I was wanting this castle to be in the winter, kind of like Beauty and the Beast, but I didn't really end up being like that. I didn't really want to mess with the seasons. When I was taking the screenshots, it was already in spring, and I don't know, I had a sim die trying to change the weather, and so I didn't want to mess with that again. So we are going to be starting off in the dining room. I do change these chairs to be blue and gold because it made me think of the Beast's like ball wear costume from Beauty and the Beast. I right after I built, or right before I built this house, I watched that kind of live action Beauty and the Beast 30th special on ABC, and so that kind of gave me some inspiration for this castle. So now we are just in the kitchen. I made it a big kitchen because I was thinking that the castle is probably remodeled for the current tenants of the house, and so probably don't need that big of a castle, but I do think they do have a lot of dinner parties in this house, and I did want this house to be like a summer vacation home. It is called the lot that it's currently called is the summer the summer home, and so I'm just like, well, that works perfectly for what I have in mind. So like, they just come here, the family just comes here during the summer um to get away from the city or wherever they are currently living, maybe in another castle, maybe in a vampire castle. And so we are just going to be adding an island and going to be adding some upper cabinets. And I wanted the kitchen to like fit like a time period of like an old castle, but also have some like more updated amenities, I guess you can say. And so like there's still like the candles on the walls, but there's also like some new like LED lighting, I guess you could call it. And so we are just going to be adding a few more upper cabinets. I just kind of keep it like a green theme. I use the filter of Queen Anne for most of this build. That's a really cool feature. If you don't know, in the build catalog you can like select like color, you can select packs, you can select styles, and there's one style called Queen Anne, and so that was very helpful for me in this build. And so we are just going to kind of be decorating this just a little bit. I didn't want to like overly spend on like little knickknacks, and so we are just going to be doing a few of those little knickknacks, but I didn't want to overwhelm the kitchen just because this is a big house and a lot of other expensive items, and I didn't really want to fully break the bank. And so we are just going to be adding a little tea kettle on the stove, and I do add another thing on the stove. Can't remember what the name is right now. And so we are just going to be adding some bar stools. I thought that would be kind of fun. Maybe like the kids of the dinner party like go into the kitchen to eat, and then they go up to the third floor to play together. And so we are just going to be adding these tapestries. I wanted to use this wallpaper in the castle because it looked like it was like hand painted in this space, and I really liked that detail. I recently watched a real life castle working in real life video. I don't remember the exact video. That title's or like that title isn't the exact title, but they were pointing out how the walls on like one of the rooms was like painted, and how like it's all well kept up, and so that kind of gave me the idea to use this wallpaper in The Sims that looked like it was being painted. And so we are just in the office now, and the office does have a private staircase to the primary bedroom. I read this book series called the Ranger's Apprentice series that takes place in a medieval time period, and in the first book it talks about like the baron or the lord of the castle like having a separate staircase from his office to his like suite of apartments, I think they call it, or John Flanagan calls it. And so we are just going to be adding a little coat rack and some more decorations in the kitchen. Again, I wasn't really trying to like overly clutter the kitchen, and so we are just going to be just moving around a few things, and now going to be going into the office again to add a fireplace. I last castle I built, I only added one fireplace, and I kind of afterwards thought that wasn't really realistic, and so I add fireplaces a whole bunch more in this castle. And so we are just going to be using this one from Vampires, and we do add a picture above the fireplace. And so we are, yeah, just going to add some more lighting so it's not like a yellow tinge to it. And now we are going to be adding some decorations onto the mantle. I was trying to have a collection of items. I feel like some stuff would obviously get like passed down from generation to generation. And so now we're just going to be adding some like railings to the stairs. This is a big castle, and so I forgot to add like railings on to the stairs before I started recording. I try to kind of like figure out the floor plan and the wallpaper before I start recording, just because that is just a lot to edit and a lot to just to do. And so I just want to focus on like the couches and like the bedding in my recordings on my YouTube videos. And so I just kind of choose to do the wallpaper and the floor plan earlier before I record the video. And so it does help me like more like kind of come up with like an idea for the family with like the wallpaper. Kind of helps me pick out like a style. And so we are just going to be adding a fireplace in here. I was kind of thinking that this area would be like a waiting area for like the dinner to be like prepared, and so you can just like sit comfortably and gossip about the weather. Gossip about the weather. Wow, that is some serious drama if you gossip about the weather. But anyway, I don't know what I was saying about gossiping about the weather. I'm trying to do this in like little takes so I don't sound out of breath. And so we are now just going to be working on the like living room area. So like it's like where the family would gather. It's like kind of more mature, like something you want to like present or have like your guests like not want to look around the corner, but like they look around the corner to see like what else part of the castle, the other part of the castle, but they only get invited to the dining room of your castle. And so we are just going to kind of make this space big, try to kind of fill in the voids. I didn't want to add like too much furniture into this space, and so we do add like another tapestry and a chess table down here. I just wanted there to be like a little bit of like fun stuff down here, but I do have like a main room on the third level that has like a bunch of skill items. You can see this is where I'm putting the pipe organ right now. And we're going to see more of that room at the end of the video. And so right now we're just going to be adding that chess table, just trying to make this space feel like somebody lives here. And so we are just going to add these pictures. Like I said, I didn't want to overclutter the space, but I also wanted to make it like seem like there was like a lot of room, like a lot of like collections of like all the different generations. There's like a lot of bookshelves just to kind of be like just like to house all the books. And so we are going to be adding some pictures. And another reason why I want to add so many bookshelves is because of the Beauty and Beast kind of subtly inspired this room, and or this castle, not this room. And so we are just going to be adding some more pictures, and now we are going to be going into the servants' dungeon or the servants' quarters. I made this more for like a butler. Again, like I did it in my vampire castle in October, and so this is just a tiny little window. So it's very simple and not really much to say. I did put like two like dressers together to make it seem like one big dresser. And I did want to give the butler a little bit of personality, if that's kind of funny to say, but I gave him some like jazz pictures, I gave him like an art easel, so he has some hobbies when he's not being called on, and so we are just going to be doing that, or adding that second dresser, like I said, and going to be going into the bathroom, I'm pretty sure, after we add the art easel. And this bathroom is just my normal 2 by 3 bathroom. I do add another window in here, so realistically you could get some ventilation, although the window I chose you can't really open. So we are just going to be trying to find some more things, but I kind of give up quickly or just cut it out. And so we are just going to be adding another chair. So just trying to see if this would be a better layout in this like front entry room, and I think this is the final layout in that area. And I kind of was feeling like there was too much blue in the space, and so I do change these couches from blue to gray, and so now we are just going to be moving the chess table and going to be adding a Don't Wake the Llama game from the what's the pack? Get Together. And so now we are on the second level in the primary bedroom, so you can see the staircase from the primary bedroom to the office, and then there is also the another staircase that like the entire family and staff can go up and down. And so we are just going to be trying to find a bed for this bedroom. I was originally thinking of the bed from the Get Famous pack, but that ends up going in a different room. I got cut off there. And so I did want to maybe close off the staircase, but it just seemed too cramped, and so I leave it open so the light, so I mean you can get like light from the windows and the stairs to come up. And so now we are just going to be adding a dresser and going to be making it into this kind of light wood beige color to go with the bed frame. The bed is from the vampire stuff pack, or not, wait, it's a pack. It's not a stuff pack. It's a game pack. Yes. Okay. And so I wanted to add another fireplace into this room, and I do add like a little makeup vanity into the bathroom. Again, I don't think I'm going to be showing that. I think I only show the bathroom on in the butler's area. And so now we are going to be adding a little bit more inspiration from Beauty and the Beast, and going to be adding a clock, candlestick, and teapot right next to each other, so it's like in the movie where Cogsworth and Lumiere are looking at like guarding the door, I guess, and Belle and her father come in to the castle. And so here is that other item that I forgot the name of, add into the kitchen. And so I also add a basket of blankets. I thought that was kind of a cozy feature that I think every house should have. And so now we are just going to be changing the color of the teapot and going back upstairs into the primary bedroom. So I have the fireplace at the end of the bed, and then have the dresser kind of off to the side. I thought that would make more like sense to have the fireplace closer to the bed so you're not cold when you are sleeping, if this was like realistic. And so we are just going to be going into the first bedroom. I was imagining this for a teen slash young adult. I was picturing this sim to be their favorite color pink. I find that really helpful when decorating like a room, is to have like some sort of theme, and so each one of these rooms has like kind of a color theme. This one being pink with the bed and the dresser and other items that I'll talk about once I place them. But I feel like this was like the bed was just like a pretty pink princess would be in this room, maybe a little popular at school, on the cheer team, as you can see me at putting down the cheer mat. And so we are just going to put it in or in the Sims room, just so it's out of the way for the other family. They don't really take part in cheer, and so it doesn't really go up into the big hobby room that is on the third level. And so just going to be adding a little desk over here and keeping the color theme of pink. And so now we are just going to be adding some posters from the high school years pack and trying to fill in the space, trying to give the room some personality per se. And so now we are just going to kind of see if I can add items into the office, but they don't really fit since office is a circle and items don't like to fit on circular walls. So we are just going to be adding a rug by the desk. And now we are just going to be finding some posters for the room, and I was just trying to, obviously keep it with the color scheme, trying to keep it kind of cutesy, I guess. I was mentioning a girl would be in this bedroom, and so now we are in the hallway. So I'm adding some lights and going to be going into a child's room. I was imagining this would also be for a girl who is a tomboy who enjoys soccer. And so I wanted to keep the color scheme of this is the room, or color scheme room is blue. It's just, I don't know, I was kind of a tomboy, and like I remember my mom painted my ceiling fan pink and blue because I still like pink, but I'm like, I'm a tomboy, so I like blue. And so we are just going to be adding a little desk area for this sim, and I do also add a dollhouse, just to be like it was handed down from the pink room sim to the blue room sim, and so the sim may or may not play with it, but she just has it in the room for reasons. But and so we are just going to be kind of searching through the catalog. I specifically searched for blue and base game just because I feel like base game does have a lot of good posters and like kids pictures. I don't really feel like any of the like expansion packs or game packs has like good like kids wallpaper. I guess the kids room clutter pack might work, but I don't like using that all the time. And so to emphasize the love of soccer this sim has, I do give him a soccer lamp, and I did also want to give this have this room be like kind of woodsy and whimsical, and so I used the wallpaper and the rug from the cottage living pack. And so now we are just going to be adding some railing because, like I said earlier, this castle is very big and I forgot to do that before I started recording. And so now we are in the fourth bedroom, fourth bedroom, and this ends up being for just another sim, again, a young adult, teen. I'm not really sure. I do give this room like green and white, and I gave them an interest of books. So there's a giant bookshelf from the Realm of Magic pack, and then their bed. Like this is just like a Realm of Magic room in this area. I guess the wallpaper's kind of switched between the pink room and this room currently. But anyway, so I do add a little like couch in this room so they can go like get a book and then sit in the room in a quiet place and read it, and so we are just going to be adding a rug. Again, keeping up the theme of Realm of Magic, going to be mostly using this pack in here. I'm pretty sure the wallpaper is actually from vampires, and so we are just going to lighten up the space with the white furniture items, and so now we are just going to be making another seating area right outside of this room between the bathroom and this room. And so we do add a fireplace and a bookshelf, and so I do like how this little like seating area over here turned it out. And so we are just going to be adding a few pictures onto the walls. And I didn't really have like a specific like theme. I'm just like, they like books, so let's just go with that. And so we are just going to be adding a picture from the Get Together pack, kind of like an older, like this is what the former generations looked like, and the town looked like before the current generation. And so we are just going to be moving a few things around in the pink room. I was just trying to make it seem very, very fun to be in this room. And so now we're just going to be adding a few posters into the green room. I do add some like flags from the university pack, so maybe they are at school and then they came home during the summer, and their parents are like, hey, let's go to the summer home. And so we are just going to be kind of making a clutter room. I had some extra space and I didn't really know what to use, like do with it, and so I started off by thinking it could be like a secondary living room, but then I realized it's like the walls weren't working with like the curve, and so I decided to make it a clutter room. So I added like a Christmas tree because when this video is coming out, Christmas was just a week ago. I'm recording it and it's just like a few days away, and so we are just adding a lot of these like apple crates. I didn't really know what I was just like. It doesn't have to be apples in the crates. It could be like porcelain dolls or just like apple crates were the only thing available. But there's like other stuff in that area, and so we do add some swords just because I'm like, it's a castle. I feel like swords, like not in wartime, would probably be on display. And so again, kind of with the swords, the knights and armor, they're like not in time of war, and so they're on display. But why would you need 4 knight suits? And so we are just going to kind of be deciding if this is good enough. I do see if those canyons would look better out on the like outside the house, but I decided it looked not really how I wanted it to, and so I just keep one in the corner. And just going to be adding a lot of rubber ducks for no reason, and just going to be adding some seating just because I didn't really know what else to put in that area. And so we are now on the 3rd floor of the 4th floor if you're including the basement of the castle. And so this is kind of a flex space. I was imagining this would be at first a movie room, but then I'm like, this would be better like for like a kid's like hangout room. So like I was saying at the beginning of the video, once the kids finish their dinner, they can come up here and play together, and they don't have to listen to the adults talk about stuff they don't fully understand yet. So we are just kind of trying to figure out like a good like floor plan, a good like layout for this room. It's so hard since it is a curved wall, but I did think it'd be fun to add this like kind of homemade movie projector. I do consider this area kind of like an attic, so like game boards, sheets, these are like would all be things that would be in an attic, and so we do have a kids version of Don't Wake the Llama, and I thought that would be kind of fun since like there is like the adults have one down in the first floor of the house, or the ground floor, and so we are just going to size up this rug, just trying to make the space feel very playful, and so now we're just going to be adding a little kids radio. I can move it by the puppet show station at first, but then I end up getting rid of the puppet show playhouse, and so now we are just going to be adding some wall decorations and going to adding this bookshelf. Again, I just want to make this like a fun space so after the children are done with their dinner, they can come out up here and play, get away from the adults, and so we are just going to be adding a lot of different items, and now we are in the hobby room. This is the last room of the castle, and so I wanted to just put a lot of different like skill building items, different like hobbies, like I keep saying, and so we are just going to be adding woodworking table on the outside. You can like go like from the outside of like each of these rooms on the fourth floor to the like to each other from the outside, and so we are just going to be adding a few musical and going to just be adding a few other fun items for the family to play together, like ping pong and foosball and darts. Just trying to make this a fun place where the whole family wants to be together, and so we are getting close to the screenshots of the video, so I hope you enjoyed watching. You can follow me over on Instagram, and if you want to play in this house, you can find it on the Sims 4 gallery. The information is down in the description, and so I hope you all have an amazing week, and I hope to see you all next week for another Sims 4 video. Leave a comment down below if you have any build ideas for me in the next year. Bye!